100 million years ago, when mankind was just starting to develop, there lived a bandaged cave girl named Cleo. She lived with her brothers, Rhesus the vampire and Luke the werewolf, in a cozy cave with their parents, surrounded by lush fields, green trees and fresh water. It wasn't always like this. Sometimes it rained. Sometimes it snowed. During cold weather, they'd wear their furs and keep warm by the fire. During hot weather, they'd take off our furs entirely, and run around without any clothes in the warm air. They'd go swimming in the lake, or have a bath there. There were no modern baths in those times, so a lake bath was just as relaxing. The only problem we had with their lives was the amount of food they had. Every winter or summer, they'd go hunting other animals who roamed the plains. Luke, Rhesus and Cleo would be accompanied by one of their parents, who were expert hunters. Rhesus's dad, Alston, didn't bite anyone, because even though he, Bella and Rhesus were vampires, they were the first to ever exist. They'd go hunting for snow lions, or mammoths, or woolly rhino, but all they brought back was a rabbit or two. A small, worthless rabbit makes a little filling meal for rumbling tummies, but at least they enjoyed our catch. They'd skin our catch alive and then eat its flesh. That's how people ate these days, but Luke, Rhesus and Cleo didn't mind. They ate their fill in small bites, and drank mammoth's milk every night before bed. One winter day, everything was about to change. The snow was swirling like a whirlpool as Luke, Rhesus, Cleo and Niles trudged through the snow, trying to battle the cold and heavy wind as they held their wooden spears tight. "We're almost there," called Cleo over the wind. "I think we're approaching some kind of cave." "A cave?" asked Luke, finally. They trudged with life and limb across the snow, then they stopped. The cave was big and hollow, and quite huge. "Hello," called Luke, and his voice echoed. "Hello, hello, hello." It went. He tiptoed inside to see if it was safe. In the darkness, he saw a huge white snow lion sleeping soundly. He tried to be careful and avoid any noise as he held his spear up and tiptoed up towards the lion. Suddenly, he tripped. A small rock tumbled and bounced off a cliff and landed on the snow lion's head. Bump. The snow lion instantly jumped up and growled at Luke. Luke raced out of the cave screaming, and Niles, Cleo and Rhesus all ran screaming too. The snow lion struck Luke with its sharp claws, and Luke felt red blood trickling down his back. He growled, his eyes turned black and purple, and he transformed into a saber-toothed werewolf. "You get him from behind," called Rhesus. "I'll take him by surprise." Luke chased the snow lion across the snowy plain and into the forest. Cleo galloped across the forest the other way, trying to search for Niles. "Dad, Dad," she cried, but she tripped on a stone and tumbled downhill into a steep ravine. Luke was just about to pounce onto the lion and sink his teeth into its flesh, when he tripped and a thorn scarred his chest, drawing blood. At that moment, Rhesus jumped out, screaming and waving his spear. He stabbed it in the lion's side. The lion roared in pain. "Your go, Luke," called Rhesus. Luke knew he wasn't about to give up yet. He roared, and leapt at the lion, biting into its back, harder and harder, until it drew its last breath from its mouth. At the same time, Cleo was recovering from her fall. She looked up, and saw the snow was falling lightly now, and up above, Luke and Rhesus were cheering and whooping, shaking their kill in the air. "Woo! Look at that! We did it! We killed something other than a useless rabbit," called Luke. Cleo smiled and yelled back, then checked herself to see if there were any bruises. There weren't. Her legs didn't break. Her arms weren't broken either. She had the strength to climb back up the cliff and reunite with her brothers again. Luckily, they helped her up as Sue.